Hi, I'm Shane with the Drum Center of Portsmouth in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We are on the web at drumcenter.com.
Yay!
We are the largest independently owned drum store in the world, and the instrument that we will be featuring today will be available for purchase in the links below. Today we are doing a first impressions video. This is the newly released Alesis Strata Prime electronic drum set. The Strata Prime drum set is the new flagship in their line. The Strike Pro has been wildly successful. It has been out for a few years. Alesis decided they wanted to take it up to a whole new level, and they really have.
This is
Strata Prime. And the big difference is the module. The module has the BFD3 sound engine, and they're calling this a revolutionary new customizable trigger engine with automatic crosstalk filtering with presets for all modern Alesis electronic triggers. The first things I could say when just checking out the module is this is so intuitive. It's very, very easy, and I like that. We have this nice wide touchscreen capability, or the buttons if you choose, so you can just jog between all the kits if you'd like. Now, the samples are huge sample files, so you're going to get a very big, lush drum sound. There are 40 gigs of content on the module, but the hard drive on the module is 128 gigs, so it can accommodate more preloaded tracks or samples that you choose to import. Funny little known fact here, a few years ago, Alesis came in and rented a lot of our drum sets. So a lot of the samples that are on board this module likely came from drum sets from Drum Center of Portsmouth. And guess what? The kits sound awesome. Before we get started, allow me to remind you to please click that subscribe button. We really need some more subscribers, and it helps us when you do that. And while you're there, please click that bell. Get notified when we post new content like this. So when I'm on a kit, I can just go over and click on the kit edit button, and clicking on the tweaks button, and if I want to add dampening, attack, the tuning, the dynamics, the panning, very, very easy. My favorite is the mics. I can adjust the overhead and the room mics, which is exactly what I want to do when I hear a drum sound. And if you watch our drum videos, that's what people seem to like about our videos. Close miking, overheads, or the rooms, or the full mix. You can do this on this module quick, very, very simple. And that is really, really impressive. I mean, other modules do that as well. It's not a brand new thing, but the fact that I can just do it so quickly and easily is something I like because I don't want to menu dive. Looking on the back of the module, I noticed that there are 4 assignable outs. We don't have individual outs, so that may or may not be a problem for you if you are using it professionally. However, there is a mixer right on the module, so if you can communicate with your front of house person, they can tell you to bring your tom up or down. There is also one extra input for an extra pad, and there are 2 extra inputs for cymbals. So of course, if you wanted to add another bass drum though, you could use a Y cable and throw that in the kick. Cymbals are also a little bit different on this kit. The hi-hat, they're boasting a new magnetic hi-hat system. And to be honest with you, I know absolutely nothing about it. I'm just checking it out now, and I have to say that I am impressed. I'm probably the wrong guy to talk to about this because I know that hi-hats are a real sticking point with electronic drums for a lot of people. And myself, I sort of just understand the limitations of it. I do like it. I am impressed. The cymbals boast a 360-degree playability, so not just part of the cymbal. So if it spins, another part of the cymbal will work for you. It is a triple zone. Same for the hi-hat. That will also, if it rotates, it will also give you the same playability no matter where you are on the pad. The snare drum is a nice 14-inch snare drum pad. The toms are 8, 10, 12, and 14, and the bass drum is a 20-inch bass drum. So it feels like a kit. We've got a nice 4-post rack. It's ready to go. We decided to plug in the Alesis Strike amp with this, which is a 2,000 watt amp. It throws massive low end. You've got to be careful where you place it because at one point we had it set up off to the side and the cymbal was triggering because of the amount of energy it was throwing out. So you might want to be mindful of that when you set this up.
So I had the privilege of setting up this new Alesis Strata kit. As far as electronic drum sets go, it was very straightforward. It took a little while, and Tony helped out, thank goodness, towards the end. I'm not sure exactly how long it took. I will put that time here. Overall impressions are that the rack system is good. It's sturdy enough. The drum pads themselves are very weighty, like they feel like they're very well made. I like the hardware on them, especially with the bass drum. The bass drum is giving me kind of Canopus vibes with the heavy lugs. They seem like brass, I'm not sure, but they might be. Cymbals are nice, responsive. In fact, they're so responsive that we had a little bit of an issue early when we first set this up. The rack wobbles just a little bit when you're torquing on these floor toms because they hang kind of far out. So it causes the rack to shake a little bit, and we had to change the threshold level on the cymbal a little bit because the shaking was causing it to trigger just a little bit, which doesn't make a big difference when you're just listening to it out of this amp here. But I'm sure when we play the direct out from the module that you would hear something like that. Not a big deal, you can fix it. The hi-hats to me feel like electronic drum hi-hats. They're passable. The electronic drum world has yet to create the perfect hi-hat cymbal. Roland comes close with their VH14 digital hats. Those are pretty good. But this is good too. I mean, especially considering the price of everything. Everything feels good, and the sounds are fantastic. The sounds are excellent. The module looks great. It's super bright, very easy to use, even for an old like me. Super intuitive, no issues at all. Everything is just 1 or 2 button pushes away. The snare stand that comes with this, I mean, it's nice that they include a snare stand. It's not very heavy duty. If you're just playing at home, it's good enough for sure. If you were playing out, I might get a more heavy-duty snare stand. I like the Yamaha. Small things like the wing nuts on some of these cymbal stands feel a little rough, maybe a little sharp. It's nitpicky, but you know, these are the small details that when you pay twice as much for, say, a Roland VAD kit, you don't have any of those issues. The attention to detail is much finer. But if you're looking for an overall playing experience with great sounds, easy setup, this, for the money, is a great value.
This kit has kind of something that I find familiar, which is that with most mesh head rubber cymbal kits, it makes me play like a knucklehead. It's really fun. The cymbals felt surprisingly good for rubber cymbals. I mean, at the end of the day, the rubber cymbals are never going to feel 100% authentic, but I actually felt like they were pretty good for that. The snare and toms felt as good as most mesh head kits would feel. The bass drum I actually thought felt pretty darn good. My first impression with the module is that it looks great. It functions really well. The load time between kit to kit is pretty slow, but I know these samples are large and that does take time, so I'm not super surprised. However, just know that going in, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to switch from kit to kit. Graphics are great. It's really easy to find things on it. I think this module is punching well above the price point would suggest. In addition to the sound coming out of the module, we thought it'd be fun to throw up the room mics and kind of show you what it sounds like in the room. And it's not just the acoustic sound of the pads being hit, but we also have a speaker in the back so that way we could hear it real time while we're playing. So you'll kind of get an idea of what it sounds like in the room with the pads and a bit of amplification as well.
Okay, well, so there's Something I suppose I should mention. Alesis, you know, has had a reputation over the years of having issues here and there. And that's something I've given a lot of thought to, because when we think about electronic drums, let's go back 10, 15 years. There are really two brands. It was Roland and Yamaha. And I can tell you that Roland and Yamaha make the most bulletproof electronic drums. And Alesis comes along and they have a lower price point. Well, guess what? They don't have that same durability factor. And so this can create some frustration. What I can tell you from playing this kit, from checking this kit out, I'm really just amazed at how they can put this all at this particular price. I think it's an incredible value. But there is a cost associated with that. If I can say, the cost is really the rack system, the clamps, the arms, the snare drum stand. These are not on the level of what you're going to see from, say, Yamaha or Roland. It's not horrible, but you may want to replace them. And because it's a regular rack tube, you can get metal rack clamps from somebody else if you so chose. So there is a little bit of that cost there, but when you're getting this much value at this price point, a lot of people can justify that. And I think I might be one of those people. It's important for me to emphasize that, yes, my job is to sell you, one of these sets. That's my hope. I'd love to sell you one of these sets. But since day one, I've never really viewed myself as a salesman. I've always thought of myself more of a pharmacist. You have an ailment and I give you a prescription after I hear your symptoms. What gives me enjoyment from doing this is having somebody get the best fit for what their particular needs are. And it doesn't matter if it's a $100 item or if it's a $10,000 item. So it's important for me to point out some things that may not be so desirable. It's important that if you do not buy it from us, do buy it from an authorized dealer that you can put trust in, because if you do have issues, the dealer's job is to take care of these problems for you. And the dealer is the one who will interface with the manufacturer to have your warranty issues taken care of. And it's important that you have a good dealer on your side when instances like this do pop up, although we all hope they don't. What's most important is, what do you think? We want to hear from you in the comments below. Did you like this? Do you want to buy it? If you do, the links are right in the description below. If you need anything Alesis or any other drum purchase, do give us a consideration. We are on the web at drumcenter.com, or we're a phone call away, or hey, come visit us at the shop. We'd love to see you. Again, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really helps us out. Click that Get Notified button. We hope you appreciated this video, and we thank you so much for your support.